Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of Spear Center for the fall 2023 semester. I'm your host, Nicholas Orozco.
And I'm Hector Roldan.
In a season that was supposed to piggyback off of last year's success, the Spartans find themselves at the bottom of the Mountain West Conference. With a disheartening 1-5 record, Matt Weiner and Nate Canilau are here to give an in-depth look into SJSU's struggles.
All right, so where we left off about 2 weeks ago was, look, San Jose State football is 1-4, and those are very justifiable. Those are justifiable for losses. USC, Oregon State, good chance or a chance that they could end up in the Pac-12 championship. Then you play Air Force a week after, or a couple days after coming back from a really tough game against reigning MAC champion Toledo, and we're like, okay, we can understand. Those are understandable and justifiable losses. However, we are a couple days removed from Boise State, where SJSU blew another early lead. And Nate, I'm going to ask you something everybody's wondering. What is up with the blowing the lead?
I think we're just as confused as the players and the coaches are. We saw it in post-game. They didn't really have any answers for us. They've been outscored 56-7 the last 3 games in the second half. I mean,
we can stop it here. That's it.
That
stat is just the gavel knocking down.
It's so weird, right? Because they start these games and they look beautiful. I mean, the offense looks beautiful when you look at Kyrie running up the gut, and you have Chev completing passes, and then halftime comes and we kind of have a level of expectation. Okay, maybe this drops off a little bit, but they're going to at least continue some of that momentum into the third quarter. But I think the most troubling thing is the third quarters have been so bad. I mean, you look at just the offense. You look at Air Force, they had 1 possession, and I think they had 0 yards, and it was like 3 plays, didn't get the ball back. You look at Boise, they had 2 possessions, couldn't get anything really going, and obviously the defense allowed Boise to score 14 there, but it's just something happening here. I talked to Chevin Cordero this morning, and he said it's just the little details. We're not executing on the little things. And to a certain extent, that is very true. But if you look at this team, I mean, they're giving up big plays, and the defense is giving up big plays. They're making mistakes offensively that are pretty big. When you look at this team, Matt, big picture this, like, what is this? These blown leads, this 1-5 start, what does this mean for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's going to say what's going to happen with Brennan and the staff. Yeah. Look, very, very low chance Brennan goes anywhere, okay? Unfortunately, everybody in my mailbag column and my mentions for the mailbag column is like, fire him, fire him, fire him. Well, that's probably not going to happen. Here's why. Okay, so first, Brennan's contract currently runs through 2025. Another part of that is that the buyout on that for his salary is $4 million. My thing is that, look, if you really are trying to get him out, and he should not go out after one bad season, but it's like, if you're really trying to get him going, no, use that money to help better this program. Because when it comes to Brennan, the thing people cannot forget, where was this program when he took it over in 2017? Not great. Where is it now? In a completely different and better place. You cannot forget how it was when he came in, where it is at now, and things like Beyond Sparta. Things like that where it's like, yeah, he's done a great thing for this program. And you can't forget about that after a slow start.
Right. And so, also to kind of build on that, he hasn't lost a lot. I don't get the indication that he's lost the locker room at all. I think players are still playing hard for him. He mentioned, and I think Brian Parham mentioned as well after Saturday's loss, their energy is fine. It's just kind of making those little details. And again, in the big picture, even if I know Spartan fans are kind of upset, they're calling for his head, some of them on social media. But I mean, if you look at it, who are you going to replace him with? Let's say you fire him.
Thank you.
Who are we getting? And then at what money, right? So you're going to definitely get somebody who is probably at a lower contract or taking less money. And is he going to be better than Brennan? And if he is better than Brennan, he's going to want more money down the road. So you're in a really bad spot if you fire Brennan. I think I agree with you 100%. There's just no way that you can let him go after this year.
God, no.
As you look towards the rest of the season, what are the chances that, from your standpoint, what are the chances that they could kind of run the table and get to a bowl game?
Not great. I mean, that's why you needed to beat Boise State. And we talked about that, is that now we're in catch-up mode. And it's really hard when you're in catch-up mode because we're kind of entering that little bit of a soft spot. I like how you kind of worded that in one of your recaps. That soft spot is now we got UNM, not good. After that, Utah State at home, another team that's at the bottom of the Mountain West. But what happens when they play Hawaii, when Chev has that final homecoming game against the place where he played?
Right.
And then after that, you have Fresno State. okay, well, what happens in the 2 games after that? So it's essentially, you could kind of pencil, I mean, right now, it's looking likely that you could possibly pencil in a loss against Fresno State, but then you also have to play perfect, like, through another 5 games. Like, I just don't see that happening. So
Right, and we're going to try to see where this team's confidence is at after this game against New Mexico. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see the rest of the season.
yeah, thanks guys for joining us on this. Hopefully Spartans can play in the second half as they do in the first half. They do that, could likely clinch a bowl game.
Thank you guys. Let's hope the Spartans are able to bounce back against New Mexico. We go to Aaron Johnson with women's soccer.
That's right. Aaron is giving us a rundown of the team's performance so far.
I'm Aaron Johnson reporting with the Spear here after San Jose State's 1-0 loss to Wyoming in the rematch of the Mountain West Championship in 2022. San Jose State unfortunately came up short in a goal in the last minute from the Wyoming players, and here's how it went down.
The game would get off to an unfortunate start for San Jose State, as junior midfielder Taylor Phillips would score here on this play, but it would be called back on an offsides penalty. San Jose State had a strong first half, but fifth-year defender Kiana Miyazato would receive a red card in the 50th minute, forcing SJSU to play with one less player for almost 40 minutes.
You can't really control red cards and playing a man down. I'm proud of how they played through most of the second half being a man down.
Sophomore goalkeeper Bente Pernod was proud of how the team fought against a good squad like Wyoming despite losing a player.
I think the fight in the second half after we get that red card I'm so proud of the girls for that. We played with a man down for I think it was almost 40 minutes. And we keep him at bay until the last minute.
It was a goal in the 88th minute from Wyoming that put the nail in the coffin for SJSU.
The last 2 minutes kind of killed us. We were trying to keep it when we should get it forward. And that's usually our game plan. People forget, they get a corner, and they finish it. That's soccer.
Graduate student midfielder Sabrina Weineman had 4 shots with 3 on target on the night. Weineman knows they have to capitalize on these chances for an important stretch of home games coming up.
I think just staying composed, putting away our chances in the first half so we can put this team away, all the teams away, and then every game on from here on out, we need to just get 3 points. So just finish our goals.
San Jose State is now sitting at 3-5-5 on the season, and they will look to snap their 2-game losing streak against Colorado State at the Spartan Soccer Complex Sunday at 12 p.m.
Thanks, Aaron. Make sure to head over to the Spear's website to stay up to date with Spartan Soccer.
That is a wrap for us here at Spear Center. Be sure to follow at the Spear SJSU for all things SJU sports related. For the Spear, I am Nicholas Orozco.
And I'm Hector Roldan.
Thank you, and go Spartans.